Okay, we are back for part 3. This is going to be how to attach a wire tree to a hoop. So last video I did all the roots. They're all twisted, as you can see. I cut off all the ends. Okay, so they're all kind of blunt now. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my hoop. This hoop is 12 inches wide. Let's put my stuff out of the way here. So now I'm going to decide where I want it to lay. Okay, so I don't typically go straight up the middle. I like to bend. So I'm going to take this tree and I'm going to bring it back this way and then bend that way. So my tree is going to go like that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start attaching my roots. This is going to go like this way, I think. Yep. So I'm just trying to make sure that I have enough space all the way around, and I don't want my roots to get too close. So the first ones are always the hardest. Okay, so I'm going to bring my tree off to the side a little bit because I'm going to fill all of this up with leaves over here, and then I'm going to wrap all this over here with brown wire, and I'm going to wrap going up with brown wire on that side. That way it holds my tree in place, it holds the leaves in place. It's just much more secure that way. So I'm going to start by taking one of my roots right here, and I'm going to wrap around twice. So I'm going to go once, twice. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and just pull and just make sure it's tight, which it is, just like that. So now you can see it's wrapped around twice there. The next one, right next to it, I'm also going to wrap around twice. So I'm going to go through. You can use your pliers as much as you feel like you need to. Yes, so the first couple are always the trickiest because things just want to move everywhere. Okay, twice. Pull a little bit and get those up close to each other. Now they will slide around a little bit for a little bit, and that's okay because you're going to tighten everything up. I will show you how to do that when we get to the end. So we're going to go around once, and you might need to bend it over the wire a little bit. Over the frame. That's okay. And then up through like that. Okay. And around once. Around twice. Next one. Around once. Around twice. Okay, so you get your first bunch right there. These are all your tails. You're going to cut off all your tails at the end and then cinch everything down, and I'll show you how to do that when we get there. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to wrap all of these around. Now sometimes you might find, like here, my root goes too far down. So I'm going to shorten that up by bending. Okay. And I'm probably just going to untwist a little bit here. Untwist, untwist, untwist. So I have some space. And then just twist back up. There are no problems that can't be solved in wire tree making. Okay, just open that up, bend that down, and now twist that a little bit more because I like it nice and tight. And I'm going to come up right here, go around once, and go around twice. And again, you can see there's a gap. I'm not going to want a gap. I'm going to want all these real nice and tight together, but that's something that I'm going to fix at the end, okay? Once and twice. Okay. And as I'm working, talking about these gaps, I'm making sure that everything is matching up evenly. Even though I'm going to fix those gaps, I want everything set so I can fix those gaps, if that makes sense. So where I'm placing everything, I'm placing them like there's no gaps. That's my dog. That's my Fenrir. She's boofing out there. Once and twice. Okay, so that's what that looks like so far. So I'm going to go all the way around and I'll come back when that's done. Okay, so now I have attached the roots to the base. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut off all these bits and secure it. Okay, so I've got my cutters. I'm just going to go around. Make sure you can see me okay. And just start cutting. And they're going to go flying. And it's okay. All the way around. Be careful not to cut your roots that are actually attached. You're only cutting off the tails. Because if that happened, that would be a real bummer. Hasn't happened to me yet, but not to say there isn't a way to fix it, because I'm sure there is. Okay. So now all my tails are off, so what I'm going to do is take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to go around and push all these in and tighten them up. Go all the way around. Okay, you can see. This also helps keep everything a little bit more secure and keeps your wires from poking people, because that's the worst, I think. You can see the top of my tree is still all tied up with tape. And again, That just prevents it from getting ruined. In doing everything that I'm doing right now, those wires would be everywhere. It would be a disaster and a mess. So the tape I actually use painter's tape. It just helps keep everything out of the way and safe. Going down all the way around. I find the needle nose pliers just seem to work better for kind of everything. Okay, so I put a little bit of pressure on there, so this tree is not going to wiggle nearly as much now. The base isn't. It still will wiggle. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at my roots. Okay, sometimes when you're moving things around, you get little wires that are just kind of not really out of place. They just could run a little smoother. So I'm going to go around and just take my pliers and squish them. Just tighten them up. Okay. Like I said, I like everything to be nice and tight. Okay, that looks pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is the tree. We're now going to do the actual branches for the tree and attach the tree to the ring. So we're going to take the tape off. Finally. Now, what you can do is you can see the ends. I didn't chop these off at all. I am going to go ahead and give them a nice cut with some big wire cutters. So I've got these bad boys right here. And the reason why I do that is, again, just so things don't get hung up. So I'm going to give it a nice crunch. You can do it with your smaller cutters too, but these are just faster. I have these and I have another pair of bigger ones. I'm using two hands right now because my tendonitis is kind of rough. Just to my right arm too. Get all that junk out of the way. So now I'm going to start making my branches. So again, you would want to make sure everything's kind of going the right way, okay? And if you see pieces that kind of slip out, you want to fix those. So I'm going to go take the sponge here, give that a twist. I'm going to twist it right down into here, I like that overlapping look. So now, I'm going to take a bunch, pull that over there. Because this side of my tree is a little bit less sparse, I'm not going to have as many branches over here as I am over here. So let's see, we'll go here, here, here. Write this up over here. That'll go there. That's going to go in there. That's going to go there. And this. few of these wires and throw them in this one. And then I'm going to twist. Twist. Ugh. I'm trying to root power. Now you can see this is kind of starting to pop out a little bit. I'm going to fix that. Okay. So as you're working, keep an eye on different parts of your tree that aren't quite secure yet, like that. And that is feeding into this bunch up here. So let's twist all that together. And this is still a little loose right there, so we're gonna get that twist. And I'm actually gonna pull this over here, I think. Okay. Check the back. And I'm gonna move things around a little bit, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Ugh. My wire that I cut is a little bit shorter than I wanted it to be. And the reason why I say that is even though it's coming off here, I still have to bend all these and twist all these and have a tail for the leaves that I'm making. So we will figure that out. So I'm gonna now go ahead and twist these into branches, just like I did with the roots. Just not as many. So like this, I'm going to do 2 and 2. And these are not going to be as crazy as the root system was. Okay. So again, over here, I'm probably just going to do 2 and 2. There you go, 2 and 2. I do go a little bit higher with the branches than I do with the roots. And I don't bend them nearly as much. This one, another one's going to be 2 and 2. So I'm going to finish up these and I will come right back. Okay, so those are now all twisted. And the next thing I'm going to do is start bending. And I'm going to use my needle nose pliers and start bending. Now I haven't completely decided what direction this tree is going to go in. I think it's going to go more like this way. It's going to swoop off. But we'll see what happens after I start bending. And again, I'm not going to bend as dramatically as I did with the roots. Just back and forth a little bit. No real rhyme or reason to it. Just like a normal tree. Go to the third bunch here. Again, just bend. And you may bend more, you may unbend, you know, as you go along. That's okay. Just do what you feel is right. Sorry, I know my ring is loud here. last one. Again, I just kind of tighten up little ones that maybe came out of place a little bit as I'm going along. Okay, like this right over here. Okay, so now we're going to flatten everything out a little bit and make sure everything is where we want it to be. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to bend this that way a little bit more. Bring these up a little bit. Pushing down with my fingers. And I'm going to add a few more roots in here because I want to get up to about here, and because that way I can fill all the rest in with leaves. Same thing with these, so I'll just split these in two and just twist a little bit more. So I'm going to twist and bend again. I just want to get up a little bit higher. Take those. Again, make sure all your wires are kind of going the right way so they're not like really overlapping. I mean, they can a little bit, but like this, these are all going this way, and these are the ones behind. So it just creates, it just makes it look more balanced, I think. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do that over here as well. And I will come back when that is done. Okay, so now I have all of my branches made, and they're all bent, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is start attaching my ends to my wire. And after that, it's going to be time for leaves. So, first thing I'm going to do is take my first branch. Okay, so I've got 5 wires on these. All 5 wires have to go around separately. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So I'm going to go around my hoop twice with my wire. Give it a good snug pull. And that's 2. I'm going to go around again. Twice. With my needle nose pliers and just give it a nice pull. Now you can see I'm kind of guiding it with my thumb a little bit just to make sure everything is nice and even. Doesn't have to be because you're going to cover it anyway. But the most important thing is that you want a tail. And the reason why you want the tail is because you're going to use these tails to add all of your leaves. Okay, so for right now I'm tucking them behind, but I am going to end up pulling them all out straight and flat. And when I'm done going around and attaching all of my wires to the hoop, I'm going to start kind of rebending these a little bit and just making sure that they're all nice and bent, nice and symmetrical. And if I have areas like right here, maybe I didn't twist up high enough. Like I'd like to have gotten to right here, but I'm a little bit low. So I'm not only going to put leaves all over this, I'm going to start filling in those kind of areas with leaves as well. And I'll show you how to do that when the time comes. So for now, we're just going through. I'm going to twist this one a little bit higher up. We're just going through and just wrapping each individual wire around twice. Okay, I'll show you a couple more, and then I'm just going to go and do it all, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done and the next step. So again, this does not have to be perfect up here because it's all going to be covered eventually, but just for my own headspace, I don't know, maybe it's the way my brain works. I like to keep everything as symmetrical as possible. It's kind of part of my process. And again, make sure you have a tail. Your tail should be about 1 inch long at the very least, okay? So, okay, so that's done. I'm going to start going through and bend this a little bit more. I'm going to go through, I'm going to attach all of these to the tree, and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, so now I have attached the branches to the ring. You can see all the way around. It's all done. And now I have all these little ends that are sticking out the back. Okay, all these ends are what I'm going to use to attach my leaves when I'm done, but I'm not going to do that just yet. So right now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the rest of the ring all the way up to here with this brown 20 gauge wire because I don't want any of my silver showing at all. And when I wrap, it's going to make it tighter through here and through here. Just kind of keep the whole structure in place. So what I do is I'm just going to take my spool. I'm going to start wrapping it around like that. I'm wrapping it around here pretty tight. Now right now I'm just using my finger. Okay. So I'm going to push this down to the edge. And I want to crimp it. Okay. It's probably still going to slip around, and that's perfectly okay. Okay. So now, let's see, which way did I go? I'll go this way. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take off like a big, I don't know, I'll cut off a huge piece of wire, which is what I actually might do in this case. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It'll be easier to show you. So I'm taking like 4 arm lengths of wire. And cut that off right there. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to twist it around my fingers with 3 fingers. Just nice and loose. Like that. For me, it works a little bit better. It helps keep things from getting tangled. It's going to get tangled a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so now I have this, so this is what I'm holding on to. And we're just going to go around. And if I run out of wire while I'm doing this, which I will, I'm just going to do the exact same thing again. Just cut off a couple arm length pieces and just attach it. Again, I'll probably, if I run out right here, I'll just attach it right here and just crimp it again. So that's fine. So I don't feel like you have to cover this whole thing with one piece of wire, because you don't. Okay, where am I? Okay, I'm just gonna go over this a few times. Now I'm trying to get it real close. And if it's not close, like that, push it down. Okay. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to push it down, do it sooner rather than later. You don't want to get up here and then have to push everything down, because then it's going to be a little bit looser. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going. So again, if you have a little bit of a gap like that right there, push it in, okay? Just try to keep it as tight as possible. And as I'm going, I'm pulling so it's tight. I like the way that not only it functions on the piece, because it prevents everything from moving around, from shifting, but I also like the way it looks. If I don't have any silver on my tree, I don't want the silver to be showing. I just don't. It's not my thing. So I'm going to keep going until this is finished, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. And that's going to be it. Okay, so now I have finished wrapping this entire side. You can see. Okay, that way, when I attach the leaves and everything, there's just no silver showing at all. So that's that. And then for the next video I'm going to do is going to be how to make the leaves. So what I'm going to do with the next one is start pulling all these out, just make them all lay like that, so I can attach the leaves to my tree. And then I'll show you how to make all those, and it will be beautiful when it's done. So that's how you do that. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I always say, you can email me at odinsiart@gmail.com or leave a comment here. I always check them. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.